Hello everyone, I'm Keith Armour. I'm the Education and Homework Support Manager down here at the main library in the Adult Learning Center. Today's Lunch and Learn is going to be about my favorite things that you can find on the website. I know we had Valentine's Day this past Sunday, but I'm going to show you 10 of my favorite things, possibly a little bit more than that. And of course, I'm going to talk about some of the things that are going on at the library. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, we've arrived at our wonderful website, cincinnatilibrary.org. So since there's at least 10, I'm going to show you the very first one. It's under Books and Media. And a lot of you might have explored our website before, but I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've never talked about during Lunch and Learn. And one of them is hot authors. And if you're expecting to see some pictures of hot authors, your definition of hot is a little bit different than the libraries. What we've got here is a collection of authors that are some of your favorites. And we know that because we keep track of a lot of them. We keep track of everything when it comes to checking things out and making sure that we order enough of a particular author. And here it is, you've got all of these different authors, and you can choose any of them. You could choose all of them that you want, but it says have your name automatically added to a holds list for forthcoming regular print or selected large print novels from your favorite fiction writers. And it's so easy to sign up. You decide where you want to pick up your book. You want to put in your email address, and then this is the little the key to let you know what's going on. So you've got regular print, you've got large print, you've got an e-book, and with the little headphones, that's an e-audio book. And there are some that are not available. So for instance, Mitch Albom, he does not have anything in large print, okay? But if you scroll down here to Mary Higgins Clark, she also doesn't have anything in large print for here. Let's find one that has large print. Oh, here we go, Fannie Flagg. And I have to confess, one of my favorite authors. And she has all of them here. So you could choose which one that you want to receive first. So every time that Fannie Flagg would come out with a new book, then you would get it. Another one of my favorites, is, of course, is John Grisham. And so I've signed up definitely for John Grisham and Fannie Flagg, and also Ken as well over here. But what happens is when we finally get the book in, then all of the people that have requested this as a hot author, then we are put in a random selection, and we don't have to worry about making sure we put the item on hold. It is automatically on hold for us. And a lot of times we sometimes forget that authors produce more books all the time. So there are so many different ones here. Walter Mosley's here. There's some of the top most best-selling authors are here. Stuart Woods. So there's all sorts here, but this is one, I think it's one of those little kept secrets that not a lot of people know about. But it also helps the library at the same time, because then we know, oh, wow, that is one of our most popular hot authors. So we're going to order more books. We're going to get more books from that particular author. So check that out. That's under Books and Media, and under right here in the second column, it's hot authors. Now, the other little thing that some of you might know, but it's one of my favorite things, is hot tickets. And hot tickets is where you're going to be automatically added to the holds list for upcoming DVDs with box office sales over 10 million. Now, there's a lot out there, but what you do is you select where you want to pick up your DVD. And remember, it's all of our branches here, okay? Drive-through windows and curbside service. And you get to pick the genre. You can pick action and adventure, children's, comedy, drama, horror, science fiction, or suspense. And you can pick all of them, or you could pick, if you're just really like drama and comedy, that's perfectly fine. And that doesn't mean that when you put something on hold that you automatically have to take it. But when you see it in your holds list, you can say, oh, wow, I think I'll take that movie. I didn't realize that movie was available. This is a great way to save some money along the way if you are trying to be a little bit more budget conscious. You can get these new releases and you can be put automatically on a wait list. And I just think it's just such a great service. And once again, you find it under books and media, and you go right here to hot authors. Now, I knew I was going to throw in a few more, but I'm going to click on book hookup. Now, this book hookup is really cool because it really gives you a chance to really figure out, trying to find some new books. If you're tired of reading the same hot authors and you want to find someone that's a little bit different, let the librarians of the library find them for you. So you just put in your name, your email, your phone, your library card, and then of course where you want to pick it up. And then have you used the book hookup service before? Just answer yes or no. And it doesn't matter if you've done it before, but you want to say what kind of items do you want to place on hold for you, the format, the interests, and then you're going to talk about what type of book you're in the mood for. Maybe you're in the mood for a romance, maybe you're in the mood for a war drama. And list three books or authors that you recently enjoyed. That helps the librarian figure out the book that's really maybe the right pick for you. And what did you like most about the books that you listed up here? Did you like the characters? Did you like the writing style? Did you like the plot? And then what type of fiction books do you usually read? And then what types of nonfiction, because this is also for nonfiction as well, okay? And then it talks about content and foul language and more than PG-13, and you can even specify that. And then you hit submit, and then what happens is just tell us a little about your reading interest, and our staff will send you a list of 3 books chosen for you. So you would actually get a list of the 3 books. You can read the summary of them. You can read about reviews, and then you can go from there and decide if you want to check out the book. So that's an extra bonus that I didn't mean to put in there. All right, let's move down the list. I'm going to go under stream and download. I've talked about this so much, but if you are not using our stream and download services from Libby, which is also Overdrive, from Hoopla and Freeding, then you're missing out. If you're paying for it, I don't know why, because we have such a huge selection of materials. Every once in a while, I do purchase a book. Some of my book club books I've purchased recently, but these are such a great, you can always find something that you would want to read or listen to from these services here. And then if you keep going down, the streaming music is just unbelievable too, because you can actually download and check out thousands of downloadable songs and even concert videos just with Freegal. And you can stream it live as well. One of the things that I always do after I watch a movie that I really liked the soundtrack, I always check to see if it's in Hoopla and Freegal. And then before I actually buy it, I can actually listen to it with Hoopla. This service right here, I'll come back to this in my list, but this is just unbelievable, the magazines. And now we're going to scroll all the way down to the very bottom. And all of these services here, Facebook, Twitter, that's Instagram, I think that's Tumblr. And as you can tell, I'm not a Tumblr user. And then right here is our YouTube channel. You click on our YouTube channel, and you can find that at the bottom of every one of our pages on our website. it is amazing. Now, this goober here, I don't know about that, but it's great information that you can find out. I'm so impressed with the story times that are happening throughout the library, and all of these wonderful children's librarians that are here. And they also do a Facebook Live that's Mondays and Wednesdays. And then also this wonderful series called Library at Home. Uh, we're in the midst of this virtual event, which is Race in the City, which is based on the book that I talked about, I do believe last week. And then it even tells you about different things that you can do, make it or take and makes, and then important conversations. And I like the description sums it all up. Sometimes kids ask questions that are hard to answer, and it's best to answer these questions with words that they understand. That's why we launched our new Storytime at Home series, Important Conversations. And there's a bunch of videos here that are tied in with some books that you can check out as well. If you haven't checked out our Building in the Next Generation library, we have done all sorts of really cool things, and we're continuing to use the taxpayers' dollars wisely, and you can check up on that right here. I watched this genealogy and local history last weekend when it was nice and cold, and they're really cool. They're not very long. This is all about Cincy's Washington Park. They come with some of our pictures in our collection from our digital library, but check those out. And then these are some popular uploads too that people have used. So definitely check out our YouTube channel. It's always getting more and more content. There's videos, there's playlists, and I definitely want you to check that out. I'm going to go back to the main page. Now, this is not necessarily for me. However, I am the Education and Homework Support Manager, and one of the services that I've been so proud of, that we are one of the very first libraries in the entire country to sign on to, was our Homework Help Now. And so you go under, let me go back, sorry. You go to Research Databases, then you go to by areas of interest and Homework Help, click here. And we have a whole bunch of different things that will help you with homework help. I talked about that earlier in 2020. I'll probably re-record that one eventually because it's just great to have. But this service right here, Homework Help Now, is just phenomenal. I recommend it to almost everyone that I encounter simply because it is for kindergarten all the way through college, but it also has this adult learner section as well. There's live tutoring. The live tutoring is every day from 2 in the afternoon until 11 at night. There's a writing lab, Skill Surfer. You can send a question. And they also have just added the chess tutoring as well. So during 2 to 11, 7 days a week, you can actually get information about chess tutoring. And you can see their online resources, but you would get live help. You could even schedule a tutoring session to get a little bit better with tutoring with chess. FAFSA is the application for people that are applying for college and getting some federal help. So there's live help for that as well. The adult learner section has high school equivalency preparation, prepare for the U.S. citizenship, Microsoft help, career resources, and even writing a resume. And then they also have live help for the adult learner as well. So that's one of my favorites. It is just such a great tool. And once again, to get there, you just go to our website, go to Research Databases, click under Areas of Interest to Homework Help, and there it is. Now, you will have to put in your library card and your PIN, but remember, if you don't have a library card, give us a call, 513-369-6900. All right? All right, moving on. We are going back to books and media. We're going to stream and download. And I'm going to go to my ultimately favorite and I just passed it up, and it's called Canopy. I click on the browser, and obviously I do want to let you know that um, Canopy does have a app for the iPhone, Apple products, and also Android products as well. Now, Canopy, each month you get 20 um, views, so you can view something 20 times. Unless you're in the Canopy for Kids, then you'll notice that my 20 disappeared because this is all, you can watch as many as you want here. And they just added this new highlights feature as well. Oh gosh, who doesn't remember and love highlights, and it's still around. It's just in a digital form here, so definitely check that out, especially if you have kids. I think Canopy is just wonderful. You can add it to smart televisions. You can add it to your Apple TV. You can add it to a bunch of devices. Just check that out. Now I'm going to exit kids. Canopy it's got such a rich collection of material. Not only is Canopy for Kids free viewing, so you don't get counted in your views, but they have all of the great courses. And I've been taking a great course on backpacking and being out, and I want to do some camping. I used to do that a long time ago, and I'd really like to get into it. So I'm doing a great course on camping. And I'll tell you, it's free. I don't have to worry about using any of my counts here. One thing I do want to also point out, and I say one thing a lot, so I'm probably up to my 15th thing by this point, but they have all these recently added movies, recent documentaries, and then world cinema. World cinema is just unbelievable because sometimes you just like going to those, seeing a good foreign movie, and world cinema is just such a cool way to learn a lot about other places, especially when we can't travel right now. So definitely check out Canopy. You also have Celebrate Black Cinema, of course, and Must See Black History down here. But you learn a little bit about different individuals too. And a lot of PBS stuff here as well. So this is one of my all-time favorites because it saves me money. I don't have to pay. I just have to have a library card and the right device to use this service. So definitely check that out. I'm going to go back let me go back to the main, don't want to go there yet. Let me go back to the main page. So once again, to get to Canopy, you're going to go under Books and Media and Download and Stream. And then you're going to go right down here to where it says Canopy. Now it says to get the app. This tells you all of the different things that you can use. So if you've got a Roku, I had a Roku forever and it was great. And it also works on some Samsung smart TVs and Android TVs and Amazon Fire as well. So it'll save you money. You don't have to worry about adding another streaming service to your collection of devices. All right, now, of course, I can't go without saying I just absolutely love being able to place holds on different things and looking up different information. Let's just put camping in there. And remember, I can do, they'll give me some choices here, but I can also just say subject and go here to search. Now I'm searching our collection, and our collection is huge, millions and millions of copies. And it will show me a lot of different things. Pete the Cat, I love Pete the Cat, but that's not quite what I'm looking for. But what I can do is narrow down the search right here. I'm going to first narrow down the search by looking at the audience, and I want to definitely just look at the adult books that center around camping. Now, I just want to look at, I'm going to look at books, and then I'm going to look at ebooks as well. And then I can even go down here and formulate the genre. And I'm going to actually go to guidebooks. I'm going to go right here to guidebooks. And I've narrowed my search. And I'm going to put a hold. And all I have to do, this is camping, and it's a book, or do I want to get an ebook? Let's see. I think I want to actually get the book. I'm going to place a hold on the book, and I placed a hold on the book. All right. And it already knows that I'm going to get it here at the library. But I can look. Here's glamping. I love that. But you can see all the different books. Here's another one, Best Tent Camping in Ohio. And in this selection, we actually have 41 that I can look at. But that's what I think is great, is that you can look at the collection in the privacy of your own home, and you don't have to worry about getting out in the weather, and you can place things, you can read them. If I wanted to read a little bit more about this book right down here, I can click on Best Tent Camping, and if I click right there, it'll open up, and it'll show me that there's 2 that are available. This book was written in 2012, and the ebook was added to our collection in 2020. So we've got, that one's confusing. Oh, I think they updated the book in 2012. All right, so I could read a little bit about the book. I could even show more here, and then I could decide what format I want the book. So one of my favorite things is how easy our website is. And don't forget, you can look at just the website. You can do the FAQs or the events. But if you put in the keyword, or the title, or the author, or the subject, then that would be really helpful, I think, for everyone. All right, I'm running out of time, so let me go back to Books and Media. We're going to go to Stream and Download. And I told you I was going to come back to it. We're going to go to Overdrive for magazines. And this is just an unbelievable service. There are so many that are in here. I think there's over, the collection, oh wait, I clicked on the wrong thing. There's over 3,000 titles in our magazine collection. And these are the ones, they always show you what's just been added. And you can see all of them. There's the news and politics. There's health and fitness. There's celebrity and gossip. Not one of my favorites. There's cooking. So we got cooking, got lifestyle, home. This is just a little bit of the 3,000 titles that we have. And the collection also goes back. It doesn't just always go forward, but also goes back as well. So you can see Men's Health magazine from several issues back. I think it's several years, actually. This is a great series, and this was 2012, but it's still very relevant to what you want to do when you want to, it says eat this instead of eating that. That looks like a Big Mac, and that's a Whopper. So they're suggesting that you eat a Big Mac, it's much better for you than a Whopper. I like the way they think. All right, that's our magazine service, so check that out. And I want to go, and oh, I'm running out of time, so this is perfect. I think I'm on number 9 now, or number 10. I'm going to go to our main page again. I'm going to scroll back up, and I'm going to go to events. One thing that is just, oh, before I go to events, I have to show you this. This is our services. Under services, if you go right here to Makerspace, and Makerspace, and I love what they write here, gather, invent, and learn at our Makerspaces. Our free 3D printers, software, laser cutters, and other tools will help you create pretty much anything you can imagine. You can reserve equipment, and you do have to reserve it now. You've actually always had to reserve the equipment. And if you haven't, if you want to do a personal project, they give you some suggestions here. There's a button maker, a vinyl printer, there's the 3D printer, and it will give you some suggestions on, your own buttons that are being used to make campaign buttons, buttons to advertise small businesses, and fun buttons to give out as presents. And if I go back, you can find out small business uses our Makerspace all the time. This is one of our most popular machines, the equipment that's up there, and that's our vinyl cutter. And if you click on that, it'll actually show you what the key features are and what the cost, and the cost is just for the materials. It's not to actually use the machine. And it'll show you some of the things that people have done. And here's a long list of all of the different equipment. And if you click on each one of them, they'll give you the features, they'll tell you what you'll need, the cost of it, and the station reservations. But what's more important about Makerspace, we have these great technology people that are in there that will walk you through how to use each one of these machines. And it's so cool. You might want to check out the video right here about Makerspace. All right, I'm going to go to events right here. The great thing about our library is that we have so many different events. If I just click on events right now, it says 973. You can divide them up. You can look by audience, but there's so much. And right now I'm going to look at what's coming up this Friday, tomorrow, Make and Take. We've got our virtual event, African American Read-In. I talked about that last week, and you can sign in for that. There's virtual book clubs and all these different events for different age groups, teens, all ages, preschools. Preschool, even for library babies right there. This event is still going on. It's our virtual class. It's fun with science with parents and caregivers for ages 0 of birth to 3. So you want to check that out. And let me wrap up by just saying that we also have our winter checkout challenge. And our winter checkout challenge is right on our main page, all the way at the bottom. And you click here, and we always seem to have some really great different things that are happening. But this winter challenge is going through until the end of February, and all of the information is there. And I'll give you some links for that as well. So I know that was fast, but those are some of my top 10, probably top 12 or 13 or 14, I lost count, of the things that I really love about our library and things that you can find on our website. All right, I'm going to click out and tell you a few more things. All right, I know that was more than 10, but definitely check those out. You might want to stop the video at a certain time if you can to go back and find it. Or you can just use our search feature right there in the website and just type in, and make sure you change it to just look at the website and type in hot authors, type in hot tickets, and it'll take you exactly where you want to go. There's so much that you can do just with your library card. You can save money, you can attend an event that's virtual. When we're back, come to one of our in-person events. Also, don't forget about our Take and Makes, that wonderful program that is our on Saturday for African Americans and everyone. It's the African American Read-In, but everyone could join in on that virtual event. You can find that on our events, and I'll have a link for that. And then, of course, next Monday, we're having that Birth to 3 event for fun with science. And our wonderful children's librarian, Miss Sarah, will be there to share some great information and free things that you can use around your house to introduce science concepts to babies. So definitely check that out. Next week, we are going to definitely do cooking. I'm not going to cook, but I'm going to show you how the library can help you find some great recipes, and we have a huge collection of materials for cooking. All right, I will see you next week for Lunch and Learn. Thanks.